Hey guys, this is Locke. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can use Tifa when you don't have 2B or Tifa's card. So I'm going to go into the dual screen to kind of talk about it and show different formations that you can do. But first of all, I actually want to say for new players, the reason why I strongly suggest you get Tifa and her card is because if you look at my older videos when I'm doing raids with Titus, Titus and his card, that's all I really needed. I was able to do like almost maximum damage with Titus and his card to many different raid bosses. So you just need like one unit and one card to make them like really really good, and then you can build your account around it. You can do a lot of PvE content. So I strongly recommend you get Tifa's VC and Cloud's VC because both of these units can be your like main units for a while to come. So that's why I recommend that. But for some reason, if you decide you don't want Tifa's VC anyway, these are some ideas on how you can build for PvP while you don't have Tifa's VC, and if you don't have 2B or her VC either. So the first one I'm going to go into is actually geared towards like newer players. That's the first composition I'm going to go with, and that is going to be Kiza, because I've already strongly recommended Kiza because her what's it called, her TMR is very very good. It's the best in the game because its effect just is insane. It gives you so much AP every turn. So everyone should already be working on Kiza anyway. So it's kind of easier to get Tifa and Kiza together. And then on your third slot, you kind of just want a tank. I mean, King Mont is obviously the best choice, but I don't think newer players would have that. You might have Rain though, and if you do have Rain, you probably don't have his sword, so you would have to go with like a full-on defensive build, and you would want to go with Knight of Grandshelt so you can get the Astral Guard so that he'll be targeted, and this is kind of how this is one formation you can go with. Especially I can see newer players doing this. If you don't have Rain, maybe you would have Barret or something, which would serve as your tank, or maybe you might even use Mont. Like you might use the original Mont, or if you have King Mont, definitely use him. But again, I don't think a lot of newer players would have him. So that's how I would build this team. And now for VC choices, I would actually use this one, Malboro. Where did it go? This one. So at max, it gives you 20 strike attack, and it gives you 15% wind magic attack resistance. So what that means is for Tifa, her magic resistance will go up by 15. Like it says 0 here because it's not max, but once it's max, it goes up to 15, and it gives both Tifa and Kiza 20 strike attack because both of them do strike damage. And then for Rain there, if you're using Rain, you could use what you have. You might want to use this card because it gives you a lot of agility, and Rain has typically lower agility. And then for Kiza, you can fill with whatever you have. Maybe you can use Odin. I kind of like Odin as a general use card because you can fit him on many different teams. So something like this, I think, is like a kind of generic comp that would work in PvP. Like I don't expect you to get to top 10 with this comp or anything, but as a newer player, you don't have access to a lot of things, but this might be something that you can build. You have to kind of get lucky with getting Rain as one of the 8 that you get when you do the tutorial. But you might have to replace Rain with say Mont or maybe Barret if you really want to go that route. It all depends. But something like this. This is just one idea, right? Now, the second idea I had was what I was already looking at. Now, this I don't think is something that newer players can build because you don't have Corwell, and I don't think you'll be able to get him for a while. Actually, I think you can still get him from the summons, I think. Yeah, actually, I think you can still get him from the summons, and you can actually still get him from the select tickets. But I got him for free from an event. I don't know if that event is going to come back. But for older players, this may be a potential comp. So what the idea behind this is, Corwell and Tifa are going to be your main DPS, right? And for this particular map that we have, the arena map, Slot 1 will kind of, it's too far from the unit in slot 2 to go towards them and buff. So slot 1 unit kind of moves up, and so I want him to kind of move up and buff, like, use revitalize or use the target buff or whatever, and get ready to do a lot of damage. And then slot 2 and 3, they're close enough to each other so they can buff. Tifa is the most is the fastest one on the team. She is a lot faster than King Mont. So the idea is that I really want her to go towards King Mont. That's why I gave her this TMR, because this TMR will cause her to target, an ally. So she'll run towards King Mont and won't run forward. So Corwell will go up, and he'll go up the stairs. Tifa will go, sideways towards King Mont. King Mont will buff with Proclamation and go forward. And now he has hate, and he has enough distance between the other two units to absorb damage, right? So this is a comp that can work, and this doesn't have anything to do with evade. It doesn't have anything to do with 2B. It's just a like a wind attacking comp with the tank, basically, right? That's another way of looking at it. And I think, this might be something that I might be running, actually, going forward. I can't really show you any good arena videos because I haven't really been doing arena this week. So even if I try right now, like, I am at 23 rank 23,000. So whatever comps I fight really isn't, like, it's not really something that you want to aim towards. You want to at least be in, like, say, like top 1,000 or something, right? So I feel like, the things that I fight right now is not really that applicable to show you if this works very well or not. But this is an idea I have, and I would have to, fine tune it to make it really work. But again, this is I think it's a fairly good idea. If you don't have King Mont, you can again, use different like whatever tank you have. Maybe you would go with Charlotte or Rain or whoever you have, right? I also want to point out that we're probably going to be getting this unit soon, Halloween Leela, because Halloween is coming up, and I'm expecting we get a rerun of her and also her EX. When she came out, she was like so powerful. Everyone was using her in like class match and all over the place. She has this Earth Petition sub job which does a lot of instant damage, and she has White Mage, so she can do full life and healing. So she was very powerful. And now, as her EX is probably going to come and she's a wind unit, she will probably pair very well with Tifa. So I mean, even in the same team, instead of using Corwell, you can build a very similar team but with Halloween Leela. So how that team would look like is you would have, where to go, a Tetrasulfide on Tifa, and then you would have Halloween Leela here, and you would probably put like some kind of magic card. Maybe you might even go with this one, Typhoon, and you could actually build this as an evade team. But if you're going to just go with like pure damage, you can go with Black Rose Helena for additional agility, this one. Or you can go with something like this for area effect resist 20. Like, there are different ideas, but this is kind of the setup there. So you don't really need to already have 2B or even Tifa's VC, in my opinion, to still be able to run Tifa. I think she could still work in teams like this. But again, for newer players, I highly recommend you get her and you get the card. I mean, you already have her, but I recommend that you get the card because she will probably carry you in a lot of different things. Especially in tower content. I was able to solo tower with like a 2B for many different levels, like in like 20 or 30 levels. So it's insane what she can do, and she's an evade character, and Tifa is going to be very similar. So anyway, that's what I think. One other idea I have is a full-on evade team, but not an elemental evade team. So in this case, I'm using, say, Venera, Rob Horn, and Tifa. And I have, the evade cards. Like, I have a luck card, I have an evasion card here, and I have an agility card. Now, the card choices would probably actually depend on the exact units that you choose. Like, for example, all 3 units here are physical units, so I want to actually use cards that give like a physical stat. But if instead of Rob Horn I was using something like Halloween Leela, then obviously I would want to use, I could probably change the cards to use Shiva, because Shiva gives a ton of magic stat and also gives a higher evasion as well. Gives 20 instead of 10. So I would do something like this. If I was using, for example, You Are Zazan, I would probably put the luck card on him instead, because he would benefit additionally from the bestowed effect of 10 Earth attack. So it really, I mean, it depends on the exact units that you're using to change the cards that way. But you could build a a full evade card, or sorry, a full evade team like this, and you won't suffer the same what's it called, like the same weaknesses of an earth evade team. Sorry, not earth, but a wind evade team, because wind is weak to ice, right? So if you have a team like, for example, this, what is it called, 2B, and then you have, say, Halloween Leela, just for whatever, and you've set up the cards correctly, and this is an a wind evade team with all the wind VCs. There is one unit that can probably shut down the entire team. Actually, I don't have the unit, so I have to show it to you like this. It's at the very bottom. I think you guys know who I'm talking about, but it is her, Solaire Sweetheart. Basically Valentine Solaire. The reason she shuts down that team is because, first of all, she's ice, so she does 25% more damage to them. All these units have like ice weakness, so she does even additional damage depending on whatever their negative ice resistance is. And then, as this is a wind evade team, she actually has skills that are guaranteed hit. So she doesn't even need high accuracy, but she can have a high guaranteed hit stat, and sorry, she can have a high magic stat, and she will do a ton of damage with her guaranteed hit AoE skills. So this one unit can shut down your wind evade team. So maybe instead of a wind evade team, you might just want to go with a generic evade team, right? They both have like different advantages and disadvantages. If you're running a wind evade team, then obviously you are going to get a lot of overall stats, simply because all the cards, like all the wind cards, like for example 2B's card, you get like a ton more extra stats for wind, right? Which is obviously very useful. But then you're running into elemental weaknesses, and so both of them have pluses and minuses. But I'm not really here to talk about teams like this. Right now I just want to talk about teams like this, or more generic teams, and give you guys ideas, because I have also gotten comments like, hey, what if I don't want to pull the VC? Can I still go for Tifa? What if I don't have TB? Is Tifa still good? So I want to give you guys ideas so that you can think about it, and is this something that you'd be interested in, or just see what else you can come up with, and hopefully this kind of helped you to make your decision on if you should be investing in Tifa or not. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have other questions or comments, please leave them below, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care, guys.